Good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Art of Abundance. This is Dr. John O'Keefe, your breakthrough specialist, and this is the show that each week gives you tips and ideas on how to create success in your life so that you can create the kind of success, abundance that you need to do based on what you see as a successful formula. You know, I'm really excited today because we have a very special guest with us. We have Stephen D. Christensen, the Dean of School of Business, entrepreneur business instructor, and Executive Vice President of Concordia University. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning. How are you, Dr. O'Keefe?
I'm fine, and I want to thank you so much for taking time to do our show. I know how incredibly busy you are with the phenomenal programs that you're developing at Concordia.
Well, it's a busy time. School started 2 weeks ago. It's great to have another record enrollment at the university, 1,500 undergrads, over 4,500 students altogether, and just another group of not only young adults, but also adult learners looking to improve their life and become more successful in all their endeavors. So it's fun.
I'll bet it is. And so as we get started, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I have been here at Concordia University for 13 years. I was here for 7, and then I left for 3 to start a nonprofit ministry called Faith and Work Life. Did that for 3 years, doing workshops and seminars on how do you integrate the tenets of your faith in a practical manner in your everyday work life. And then came back about 4 years ago as Executive Vice President, and 6 months ago was appointed Dean of the School of Business and CEO of this school. The School of Business, to put it into business perspectives, it's about a $12 million operating unit with 500 customers and about 25 employees. Prior to coming to Concordia University, I was Executive Vice President at Chapman University, working very closely with their president, Dr. Jim Doty, who many people here locally know, quite a visionary, and it was great to not only report and work with him, but to be mentored by him. Before that, I was at UC Irvine. I have 30 years in higher education, and during those 30 years have started 3 companies and 2 nonprofits, and came to California in 1983 from New York City. So I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised, spent my first 23 years of my life, the formative years, being a New Yorker with all that comes with the New York drive and ambition, and then met a California girl in New York City, and she suggested when we get married we move to California, and so we did in 1983.
That's wonderful. What an extraordinary background, and I'm really impressed with your focus on entrepreneurship, and that's what I'd like to ask you about today. I've heard about the Teen Entrepreneur Academy. So what is the Teen Entrepreneur Academy?
The Teen Entrepreneur Academy is a business startup summer camp for high school students who have a passion and desire to learn how to start their own business. This past summer, it's held every summer in July for 1 week here on the campus. It is a residential summer camp, so high school students are selected to participate. This past summer, we had 80 high school students from 6 states and 4 countries come to us. They arrive on Sunday, and they leave on Saturday, and they live in the dorm. So it's a total entrepreneurship startup immersion program. And during that week, we teach them best business practices and principles of starting up their own business.
And, that's so exciting. I'm sorry.
Well, what happens is they work in teams of 3, and they put together a business plan. And then they follow our training and instructions. We bring in successful entrepreneurs and other speakers, and they follow the curriculum that we use. And then at the end of the week, every team, and we had 22 teams this year, do an 8-minute investor PowerPoint presentation to a panel of CEO judges, in each competing for the $1,000 first place prize. So 23 teams compete, 8 minutes each, and the top 3 teams are selected for the championship round. And then we have a big event open to the public, and they present on Friday night to a panel of distinguished judges. I mean, this summer we had the founder of Priceline. We had the 41st Treasurer of the United States, Rosario Marin, as one of the judges. We really bring in a high-profile group of judges to select the top winner, and it's $1,000. And by the way, these students have never met each other before they come here. The winning team was comprised of 4 students: a high school student from Michigan, a high school student from San Jose, Northern California, Silicon Valley, a high school student from Irvine, and a high school student from Taiwan. And these 4 came together and worked on this plan, having never met, but brought the collective intelligence of the team together and took first place. And so we've done it for 3 summers now, and next summer we'll do it again, the second week of July 13th. To the 18th, and a bunch of information and pictures and everything is on our Facebook page, which is by the same name, Teen Entrepreneur Academy, or on our website which is embedded in Concordia's website, so that's CUI.edu/TEA, TEA standing for Teen Entrepreneur Academy.
Excellent. That's so exciting. As I was going to say, I've always felt that if youth, specifically high school, going into college, if they were exposed to entrepreneurial mindsets, to that freedom mindset of creating your own business, that this whole world would be a different place. So I'm very excited, and I can hear the excitement in your voice as you talk about the Academy.
Well, the thing about it, particularly young, is that I was going to say is that, we hear people say, you're never too old, and certainly we agree 100% you're never too old to learn new things. Additionally, we believe you're never too young to learn the principles of free enterprise, self-responsibility, innovation, and creativity. And actually, young people, teenagers, and even younger than teenagers, preteens, have natural creativity. They have natural innovations. They're curious about how things work and how to do it differently and make it better. Sometimes inadvertently, the educational system and rules and regulations squashes some of this creativity.
That's an important point because of the various mindsets and principles that are around. So to have that availability of the mindset you're talking about is so incredible. So, Stephen, how and why was T established?
Well, it was about 3 years ago. I was reading a Gallup survey, Gallup being one of the probably most distinguished polling organizations in the world, and they do surveys, and I'm on their list, and I received the results of one survey. They surveyed 1 million high school students, and they asked them what they wish they had more of in high school, and 85% said they wish they had more business education, more business classes in high school. And of course, it's not that the high schools are ignoring it. The high schools have a lot of other foundational principles of communication and thinking and critical thinking and all of this to teach. So the high schools aren't ignoring it. They just don't have the room in their very overcrowded curriculum. So high school students, 85% said they wanted more business education. And then almost 80% indicated that they desire to start their own business when they graduate. So they wanted to start their own business. And of course, we know small business, actually 90% of the businesses in this country are small businesses, less than 100 employees. It's really the driving force of the economy. And then we were reading at the high level of youth unemployment, almost at 20% in this country. And so as the natural entrepreneur that I am, I see a problem as opportunities, and my mind began to wonder, well, if this is a problem, and I teach entrepreneurship. I teach adults how to start businesses. I do not only in the MBA program, but I do workshops and seminars at churches and other places. I actually do a how to write a business plan in a weekend, a Friday and Saturday workshop at a church. And so I thought, well, I teach entrepreneurship, and if these high school students are interested in that, maybe there's something I should do to help the young people. And so the idea came to me to say, okay, Problem, opportunity. The university has dorms available in the summer. We have the space. We have the content. We have the domain expertise. We have the passion, desire. Why not use my summertime as a volunteer and put together a summer program for teenagers, and we can teach them how to start businesses. And so that was sort of the germination of the idea. And then, I started doing research, doing some due diligence, did a little prayerful soul searching, because I never taught high school students, but nevertheless, it was put together as a way to respond to this need and sort of a give back. What can I do to help address a societal problem that I'm gifted to do?
That's so insightful and so well needed. I want to talk to the audience for a moment. If you listen to what Stephen's saying, he took the reins and created a dynamic program that obviously is in need for high school students and others about entrepreneurship. What can you do today to support programs like this to let the young people know that they have an avenue out there? I want you to really listen to what Stephen's saying and know that there's avenues you can support to do that. So, Stephen, we talked a little bit, but when was the last academy and what exactly occurred there?
So the last one was held July 13th to the 19th here on campus. The first year we had 40 students, the second year we had 60, and then the third year we had, this past summer, 80. There are some things about what occurred here. Number one, we have a commitment to all young people, regardless of their socioeconomic situation. So what you have then at our academy is you have a group of high school students who come from families that are well off, financially stable and all this, who can afford to pay the $1,000 it costs to come for the week. That's room and board, field trips, books, all this kind of material. But then you have so many high school students in low-income communities, at-risk neighborhoods, who, through no fault of their own, they were just born into that economic situation, would also benefit from this type of program. So we have made a decision that 50% of our students will be from low-income, at-risk communities who will be granted scholarships to attend this program through monies that we raise through our corporate sponsors and donors and friends. And that's one of the unique things, because there are similar types of programs around this state, but for example, ours is $1,000. There's another program at some of the big name universities that are $4,000 or $5,000 that clearly the low income students won't be able to go to. And then there's programs that are like a day camp for a week that are for only low income. But there is not a program that actually takes these two diverse socioeconomic groups of young people and brings them together. The thing is, they're all the same young people at heart. They have the same dreams, hopes, desires, and aspirations, and we bring them together, and nobody knows who's on scholarship and who's not, and we bring them together because you know what? That's what the workplace is about. When they get into the real world, wherever they go work, whatever they do, it's going to be mixed company. So whether you're from privileged or not privileged, the real world is about all of us together. And so that's one of the unique things that we love to do, and to watch these young people just rise to the occasion.
I'm excited about that because there's so much there, and $1,000 is a very, very good price, I think. For look at that, a week and all of the things that you can do. So for those of you out there who are looking for a way to sponsor your own child or sponsor someone else, there's a unique aspect out there, and so I want you to think about that, because we all need to stand up somehow and reach out to create the new entrepreneurs of the future, and I think this is a wonderful thing. So, Stephen, what makes the Academy different from other business summer programs for high school students out there?
So I just talked about the one aspect, which is the demographic and economic mix of the participants. The other thing, though, is that we then factor in extensive experiential hands-on learning projects. So students are sitting in groups of 4 or 5. Each speaker incorporates group learning exercises, posing questions that the students must work together to come up with answers to, that they then participate in the dialogue with the lecturer, the instructor. We bring in practitioners. We bring in people who have started businesses. We've had 17-year-old high school students who have started their own business coming in and speaking to the high school students. Most of my speakers, by and large, are probably under 30, 35 years old, so that the students match a little bit more closely to them, although we do have older ones. But I think it's the group dynamics, the experiential learning, the hands-on, what I call learn by doing. So it's almost like going to a summer science camp where you're building a rocket ship or a volcano and you're actually watching it take off. They're coming here and they're actually building a business plan and actually testing their hypothesis and putting that together. So it's an experiential learning. We incorporate a lot of high school learning dynamics. The high school mind works differently than the adult mind, with the attention span of 10 to 12 minutes before the modality needs to change. And so we go out of our way to make sure that it is a mindfully engaging activity for these young people.
That's an important part. You've customized it seems to me, to meet the student's need in that. And that's a unique stat, 10 to 12 minutes before their mindset needs to change in a modality. I know a lot of executives that have about a 10 to 12 minute span there. So for those of you who have just joined us or joined us late, we're talking to Stephen D. Christensen, Dean of the School of Business and Entrepreneurship Business Instructor and Executive Vice President of Concordia University. Stephen, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you to find out how they could put their child or through the program or support your program, is there a contact information you could give us?
Yes. I mean, they can feel free to go on our website, which is cui.edu/TEA. So you just go to Concordia University Irvine website, and you'll find me on there as Dean of the Business School. Just put my name in there. Of course, I know I'm reaching out all around the world, but they can always text or call me on my cell phone, because the work that I'm doing is too important. And I'll give you that number. It's fine by me. And that's 714-272-7865. I'm glad to help anyone that wants to participate in this program, or if they want to start one in their neighborhood, in their community. I'd be happy to come alongside and share best practices and how they can do it. There's 50 states. There's about 250 cities with populations over 250,000. This can be done in any city during the summer, anywhere in the United States and around the world for that matter.
That's really exciting, and I want the audience really to listen. Most of you who are listening today, we know are entrepreneurs of very large organizations and also smaller business. We also know your business owners and C-level executives. You have an opportunity now to really move forward and support something that increases business, that increases, most importantly, opportunities for young people. Stephen, you mentioned that along with being vice president of Concordia University, you're also an entrepreneur with your businesses. So what motivates you to grow your business?
Well, first of all, a business is about solving problems that customers have, whether that's a product or service. And so it's sort of the entrepreneurial mindset that we have, which is, problems are opportunities to make life better for people, to do something better, faster, different, whatever that might be. And, I was just thinking on Sunday we were at church, and a friend of ours, it was a funeral, and he passed on. And anytime you go to a funeral, I know for me it helps me and makes me reflect on my own mortality. And the fact is, we're here but for a blink of an eye. Lord willing, the average age is, 75 or whatever it is. Maybe we'll live our whole life, but we don't know how long we're going to be on this earth. It can all end on the drive home today. So the question is always, what can I do each and every day to make this world a better place, to contribute to the betterment of someone that I meet, a neighbor, a person I don't know? So I'm always sort of reflecting on that question and driven to be sure that somehow I'm contributing in a meaningful way to society and making the world a better place, because it's short and we're gone, and whatever we own materially is all going to burn and all of this, but it's the impact that we have perhaps on people's lives and others that really is long-lasting.
That's really a thoughtful mindset. And so I'm going to ask the audience, what can you do today to make other lives better as you travel this experience on the planet while you're here? And I suggest now you have an opportunity for the programs that we've talked about. Stephen, you obviously have a wealth of experience in all kinds of different positions, and you've seen a lot of things in education and entrepreneurship. Is there perhaps a story or a unique experience that really speaks to you that you can share with us about a student or a situation?
Well, I do work with a lot of students that want to start businesses. I do work with adults that want to start businesses. And just a few thoughts here. And it's interesting, that we're speaking on the Art of Abundance radio show, because one of the first things that we talk about in starting a business is to have a mindset of abundance. That you need to operate from a mindset of abundance as opposed to scarcity. When you begin to operate on a scarcity mindset, on not enough resources, not enough this, not enough that, you get into a defensive mode, and your mind set will limit you. But when you understand that there is an abundance, an overwhelming amount of resources out there, that for us here, Christian University, the God of this universe is a God of abundance, not scarcity. There are enough resources out there to help us accomplish what it is that we want to do if we are focused, strategic, purposeful, and doing it with good intentions. So number one is to have a mindset of abundance, not scarcity. Don't be running scared. Number two that I really like to do is that the people that I work with, they all have an idea in their mind or a passion in their heart. The challenge is they've not committed that to paper. And so this exercise of taking your idea and writing it down, I'm not talking about a 47-page document. I'm talking about a paragraph. I'm talking about one page. I remember my theology professor here at Concordia, he used this quote, which he quoted from someone else. He says, "How do I know what I think until I see what I write?" So we can talk, and we've got all these ideas, and sometimes talking about our ideas, we feel psychologically we've made progress because the brain has moved, but we really haven't. And so I would encourage people, actually keep an idea journal, an idea log, or if they have this idea, write it down. Begin to write it out, and then set it down, come back and read it, and you're going to look at it fresh and new. Share it with others, but you need to write it. You need to get it out of your system. And if you can't write it, then dictate it to someone. Have someone interview you, and then they'll write it down for you and then play it back to you. But you need to get this out of your mind and out of your heart and onto paper, because it's the first step of becoming a workable plan to achieve those visions and goals that everybody has.
What a wonderful tip and idea. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Get an idea journal and take those marvelous aspirations, thoughts, and ideas, your vision, and bring it through, pull it through, and put it on paper. You have a pathway now. And I think, Stephen, what you said is exactly right, and I especially admire your view on abundance. That's what we talk about all the time, to have that mindset of abundance. Because oftentimes, unfortunately, and I think you'll agree, that we listen to the news, and there's so much negative news from time to time on what's happening, that when you keep in mind what Stephen is saying, that there is an abundance, an overwhelming abundance of opportunity, of things that are available to us. Start your day with that mindset. That's what's going to make it happen. Stephen, I'm so excited about what you're offering in this program. I think it's really, really wonderful. Are there other aspects of the university that you'd like to talk about, your education program, that might be key for you?
Well, of course, we are a liberal arts university with the School of Business being one of the largest programs, but we also have an extensive adult learning set of offerings. Our MBA program, which is in the evening for working adults, for those that want to pursue an advanced degree, is something that people should consider. The most successful people in the world, of course, are obsessive learners, and so I encourage that. We have some people who got into the working world and didn't quite finish their bachelor's degree, maybe got halfway, three-quarters of the way there, and life circumstances forced them to work. We have another convenient program for degree completion for working adults that I would encourage people to come back to. So they'll get credit for work experience and things of that nature. So, education is the most effective tool to change a life and improve society. And so don't ever stop learning. Be lifelong learners to the end.
What a great message. And so for the audience out there, how about you? For those of you who got busy, maybe you started your own business and you need to complete your education, or those of you who want to enhance your education. Now there's all kinds of opportunities that you can have. So I suggest that you take Stephen up and look at those programs. It's that first step that really makes a difference. And as adults, when we get involved in our entrepreneurial aspects or businesses, sometimes a lot of things get in the way. But now you have that pathway to make it happen for you. I guess, Stephen, the old saying, when we're having fun, time flies. And so we're at the end of our program. And so I want to take a moment and say thanks again, Stephen, for joining us. For the audience, we've been talking to Stephen D. Christensen, Dean of School of Business, Entrepreneurship Business Instructor, and Executive Vice President of Concordia University in Irvine. Thanks again, Stephen, for joining me, and I want you to have a great day.
You too. Thank you, John. Blessings on your day.
Thank you so much. And if you have questions for me out there, audience, you can reach me at my website, www.drjohno'keefe.com. So go out there and absorb what you've heard today and make it happen for yourself. Remember, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.